Good morning, everybody. My name is Massimo Viglione. I am the CEO of Reios and Rajant Italia. And I thank you all for being here with us to share this training course on Reios IoT Platform, and especially on the RTLS application, whose commercial name is sTrack, and other IoT function enabling with a focus on IoT lighting, that is the region version of the smart lighting. I will do a brief general commercial introduction of the product, top down from what we do to some use cases. After me today, Andrea will introduce the IoT project development, and then Franco and Paolo will continue today and tomorrow. So for this commercial introduction, the topics are the sTrack itself, the channel objectives, and the use cases. So sTrack first. What we do. So Rajant solve, as partner, you already know that solve Wi-Fi and LTE problems, real-time connectivity for data and video and voice over IP, and kinetic mesh, of course. That is the key features of Rajant connectivity. Reios provide a solution, IoT-based, totally controllable by type of device, by areas, by technology, by maintenance status, geolocalization with digital identity. By means of an open platform, the Reios IoT platform, on which you, partners, and also customer can build up vertical application of any kind, and we will see how it's possible. The markets are the market that you know are the typical market of Rajant, from mining and military and ports, healthcare. I guess you know very well the markets in which we are dealing. And IoT can be proposed in the same markets. Let me use an image that I like to give a background of what we are talking about. Basically, the Reios IoT platform enables data collection through the kinetic mesh to be used for implementing function and make data analysis where it is relevant for the customer business. As we can see in this picture, Rajant offers the connectivity, the infrastructure of communication, or the motorway of the communication, as I like to say, and Rajant Italia, through the Reios IoT platform, offers data bridging and edge computing for the IoT functions implementation, and data collection from the field. So in this metaphor, you can imagine the edge computing is like the service station that you can find in the edge of a motorway, as in the image. And there, many things happen for the execution of the function of the cars. Same is edge computing for the IoT. A lot of things can happen at the edge, and this is virtuous, both for the cars and for the IoT. We will go back on this image. So now here is a panel of function or vertical application already developed as part of the Reios IoT platform. In the future, we may have other function coming from commercial opportunities, and maybe it will be you, partners, that will create new ones. So in this panel, we can see that the Reios IoT platform has a vertical application in the smart lighting that I like to call IoT lighting for illumination optimization, energy saving, and enabling of other IoT services. If you think the lighting feature is always a very good position for installing IoT devices or connectivity devices. Then there is the sTrack, which is the one that we will go in deep in this training course, always thinking that while a vertical application is installed, all the other are enabled. Again, we will come back to this concept. So sTrack is for locating people, equipment, and the materials, both in indoor and outdoor environment. Then we have the IoT BMS, Building Management System, for manage comfort and security in buildings and decrease electric bills and the best management of the building. Then we have an sDesk vertical that manage office spaces and enable policy of improvement of the office management. And smart picking is fully dedicated to the management of warehouses. So you can see there is a variety of vertical application. All of them are Reios IoT platform based, and we will focus in this course on the sTrack. Here is another way to see the same concept that is very important in our product. So we start with the sTrack, so the real-time locating system, but with the same concept, the same software, the same approach. Then you will have smart lighting, IoT BMS, sDesk, smart picking, and other function already enabled. Devices. So when you sell, when you as partner sell Reios IoT platform, you sell software, but basically you sell hardware. Here are some of the devices that you will sell. On the left are the infrastructure one. On the right are sensors for people and asset tracking. Can be other sensors also. This is in this picture you see some of the devices because there is a long list of devices. So on the left you can see there are breadcrumbs for the motorway of the communication we saw before, gateways for the data bridging and edge computing, and servers for edge computing. Cowbell is one of the possible servers that in which we can deploy the IoT platform. It is a recommended one, of course. On the right, you can see sensors that can be wearable for people or tracker for asset. The STAG is the basic wearable for tracking people. The QStat is from Rajant, a medical grade device that can be used, of course, for people tracking, but also for monitoring the people state of health and even environment situation. Other sensors for asset tracking are STAG with the GNSS capability to detect the position, to track the position of asset. Can they be trucks or cars or any kind of asset with the GPS feature. STAG sTracker that is BLE based and other. Maybe now we can go deeper into the description of some of them. STAG and QStat I mentioned before. You saw before in the picture before that they are the basic devices for people tracking. They offer information that are detected and managed by the IoT Reios platform that is real-time location, elevation, which is measured through pressure sensors. Anyway, there is a technology to say not just XY, but XYZ position of people. Then we have telemetry of temperature and humidity. Noise. Noise is very important for characterizing the environment in which the tag is, so the person is, because from noise, in the noise, there is a lot of information, and not just talking about, for example, the shot of a gun that is possible to detect, but there is the possibility to have a good noise analysis and understand a lot about the environment. Then vibration for the man down and for other function, and equipment proximity. These are, for the tracking purpose, are equipped with the BLE radio for communication. The typical use of the STAG and QSTAT is in the health and safety world, but of course you can imagine other opportunity, even for cost analysis and for many reasons. So not just safety, but the typical use is on man down for accident notification of hazardous environmental parameters, for example, in an oil and gas industry or other industry in which there is this kind of problem to manage. Real-time warning to emergency or safety teams. Manage the mastering areas for emergency. It's it's a very important characteristic of the Reios IoT platform, the management of mastering areas that are used, that are typical in mines or in oil and gas, in the industry in general. Control restricted and dangerous areas access. So this is just part of the function through which you can imagine other opportunity of use. This tag is the version that is used for asset tracking. It has also real-time location, elevation, temperature, humidity, equipment proximity, BLE based for the communication, and it's generally used for mapping and localization of both mobile and static equipment, so things that can move or maybe not move, just in order to be conscious that the assets are still there, and analysis of equipment location and use time. This is most related to the cost analysis. There is a lot of opportunity in cost analysis with tracking, and especially with sTrack. Here is another tag, GNSS based, so it's possible to monitor assets that move on roads or everywhere, let me say, with the georeference position, path tracking, temperature, humidity inside maybe container of this kind of use, and theft and tampering detection. That is another very important information. And the communication is GNSS based for the localization, and normally it is used with LTE infrastructure that we can manage in our platform. So this was what sTrack is. Q&A will come later, so I go on with these 3 points, and then I will leave the Q&A time. So let's talk about the competitive advantages of sTrack. There is a subset of comparative advantages and another of differential advantages. The comparative look at products by competitors that declare the same performance. and differential means what we have more than other in our platform. So sTrack can utilize existing Rajant network as the communication substrate, the motorway of the communication we talked about at the beginning, and as a source of data being eventually connected to other sensor, gateway, edge server. So Rajant network can be a source of data, and this data can improve the sTrack performance. I mean, Rajant network already deployed can supply virtuous information for the sTrack performance. Second point, sTrack has a lower hardware and deployment cost because of the use of the Rajant network, as just said, and because of its own characteristics. In fact, it is the IoT infrastructure behind the sTrack that let it less expensive than others made by competitors because it is a light platform. This we should keep in mind. It's very light in terms of both hardware and software. Another key point is easy mass configuration. By definition, deployment of IoT platform as sTrack is, means install and configure hundreds or thousands of devices. Rarely this is considered, but the sTrack can count on an easy-to-use mass configuration software. You will see the web manager that helps a lot to lower the cost of deployment and the total cost of ownership. Easy to integrate with third parties application because it's really an open system, connectable with standard protocols. The software has been built with the understanding that it must coexist with other systems. So we don't pretend that, we don't think that we sell the IoT platform that is unique in the world, of course, but it must coexist with other systems. Open to give a position, to offer position measured through the software and the hardware, so the XY information to other systems, and also open to get position and status information sourced by third parties system. So these integration opportunities will offer sales opportunities. And now the differential advantages. So sTrack is scalable. It's really scalable. It's part of the enabling IoT architecture, and it is able to grow with infrastructure growth. To give you an idea, one of our main customers, Tecnimont, it's an Italian company in the oil and gas world, has coined the payoff IoT by construction, from greenfield to the finished construction. And this is great to us. All devices, so second point, all devices in the sTrack solution, so the stack, the gateways and the nodes that we saw before, are geolocalized and have a digital identity. Everything is on maps, you will see in the training. This assures the scalability and the easy maintenance. Maybe you can imagine if one of 100 or 1,000 gateways has a failure and you don't know where it is. We always know that with our platform. Then we have coexistence of communication, of many communication or various communication technologies like Wi-Fi, BLE, LTE, LoRaWAN, means being able to adapt the sTrack in many different environments, concentrated, huge, indoor, outdoor, and minimize the cost of infrastructure, especially where they are already present and we can exploit them. This is the coexistence. And the common solution for indoor-outdoor tracking means one platform for different environment. When, for example, in a port, you have outdoor area and an indoor warehouse. The sTrack, appropriately configured, provides the position of tags regardless of the indoor or outdoor position on the same map. As we saw at the beginning of the discussion, the sTrack, part of the Reios IoT platform, enable other functions, as for example, the IoT BMS, smart lighting, and this is room for you for further business with the same customer, because you can enable one vertical solution, sTrack, for example, or IoT lighting, for example, and then step by step you can enlarge your sale to the same customer, adding time by time a new solution that in some case can be developed for the purpose. Last point, we saw in the gateways picture, some of them having light for signals. Some of the gateways have lighting capability. They are very important because IoT is often very hidden. Through light, you will see along the training, we let explicit environmental information and warnings through colors, blinking, and another way of communicating. So people will interact with the IoT. This is a really a big differential advantage. It's very rare to find this kind of solution that we widely use in, let me say, all the range of application. Flexibility. The flexibility of sTrack is resumed in these 4 points. We manage communication technology, various communication technologies like BLE, Wi-Fi, of course the kinetic mesh as a backhaul location data. We manage LTE, we manage LoRaWAN. Each the communication technology for the spatial environment, for the spatial purpose. But with the platform, we can manage almost all of them. Communication devices, point 2. So gateways. In the IoT, the gateways are devices that you always find because we have to transfer information from one communication technology to another communication technology. This is typical of IoT, and especially of our IoT. So we have the Wi-Fi mesh node for the Wi-Fi coverage. We have Wi-Fi to BLE gateways to collect and process data for tracking or even for other functions. Then we have Wi-Fi to LTE, Wi-Fi to LoRaWAN. We have many combinations of communication technology in gateways. Then we have sensors. Even sensors are key devices for the IoT because they are associated to the things of the Internet of Things. So we have the the S-tag, the wearable, for tracking, for telemetry function, as we saw before. And any other type of sensor can be integrated in the platform to provide additional environmental parameters. Any means, let me say, 80–90% of the sensor on the market can be integrated into Reios IoT platform. And people and asset movement and all sensors are always georeferenced and put on and displayed on a map. And this is another key characteristic that we have and we keep. And last, important, the communication dynamic. You will see while deployment and project design that The communication dynamic is always the same. Is in a way it's easy. So we have information from sensor to gateways. We have now I don't go deep into this. You will see many times. Then information from gateway to mesh nodes, or in generally speaking, to Wi-Fi, or maybe it can be from to LTE or other infrastructure communication technology, and then from the mesh nodes or the infrastructure to the cloud, or to local host computers that can be in environment. In the presentation, many times we refer to cloud, but we can say that cloud and local host is absolutely the same. Here, 4 points very important to me in the sales activity of the IoT platform. So how sTrack expands already deployed region network value. So sTrack is by sTrack as other IoT vertical application of the Reios platform is a high value application with many competitive advantages, as just seen, that you, region partners, can easily add to an existing region network by adding S-gate and server and sensors. So, in a way, every already installed region network can be enriched with an sTrack solution, having the communication layer already deployed. This is, to me, very important to keep in mind. This is not trivial. This is a turnkey for partners that already have sold region network and manage region network in the market. Breadcrumbs and S-gates combined are a powerful way to acquire and control IoT sensor and actuators. So you can bring the region network into the IoT world with a unique approach in which you start bringing and selling sTrack with the value in itself, and step by step all the other functions. So open doors to future solutions. The third point, talking about the sTrack function, a breadcrumb and a S-gate combined as a virtual sensor, they act as a virtual sensor that again increase the value of the solution. You will see in the course. I can give you an example. In mines, we can have a virtual gate at every breadcrumb position already installed, and basically we can do tracking in areas through which we can count how many people are in areas between two breadcrumbs. So we can know if people are in the mastering area, basically where people are in terms of specific areas instead of XY position. This is a concept, the virtual gate, that enlarge the use of sTrack in situations very complex like mines, letting the tracking easier and more practical. And this is a way to do tracking with virtual gates. And it's not the only one, of course. We can also give the XY position, but the previous one, with virtual gates, can really add value to your sales with a not so complex solution. The 4th point. This is region kinetic mesh through its reliability and scalability allow sTrack to support thousands of devices, thus making the integration with Reios IoT platform quick and simple. This is to say the region network is already a part of the IoT platform to be expanded with sTrack. So the particular relevant, so sTrack is also a reason to sell a region network to existing and new customers. Here is the features and benefit of the sTrack. Regarding the features, we saw sTrack is a powerful IoT-based and real-time locating system to track people and equipment. It can be used in a lot of environment and allowing the optimization of asset management, monitoring of restricted or dangerous areas, and always keep key environmental and risk indicator under control. In this chart that you can find from the brochure of the sTrack, I give you the synthesis anyway. There are a lot of reasons of benefits. So the key feature: ensure operators' health and safety, monitor with advanced capability, facilitate reported are the key features. But inside this key feature, there is a lot of benefits like people health and safety in the work site identification, mastering area management, environmental monitoring. These are all benefits that you find by deploying sTrack. Monitor with advanced capability. We saw before that geolocalization is a key characteristic of sTrack, so it's possible to use at the best and have a big benefit from this characteristic. Access management of external and internal people can be added to the present. Maybe in some cases there is already an access management, so we can improve the access management with other characteristics. And restricted area management is one of the key benefits, as we saw before. For the reporting, we can offer data collection and analysis, optimization of resources, increase efficiency, offer cost control. All these characteristics are also in the family of the ESG. So, which is a rule that need compliant, and the IoT, and especially the Reios IoT, can offer big benefits in the direction of the ESG compliant. And the field of application, actually, we saw before. sTrack is versatile, so the markets we can enter in many markets, like underground mining, which is the typical of Rajant, so as well as ports, agriculture, oil and gas, petrochemical. All others need tracking for cost control, safety, and other reasons, and IoT in general, and all markets in which the kinetic mesh is highly appreciated. Before to go to the next point, which is the use cases, wanted to tell you that all detailed information about the products and data sheet and of course price books are in the partner portal. So please use it. You will find all. And then Andrea, that will talk after me, will always help you in case of specific information to find. Use cases. I try to go fast in order to give you time for the Q&A. So this use case, Mirato manufacturing plant, is in Italy. In this case, there is both tracking, but also lighting, IoT lighting. Now, in this description, we mainly talk about tracking. The goal was to keep the resources under control with real-time positioning and historical position to perform analytics and optimization. In fact, in this case, the Mirato company could improve a lot the use of forklift because they have a particular long way to reach their target, so they could analyze the path of the forklift and optimized, so saving energy, saving time of people, and improving the production time. And this is analysis that was done by them. So we, as Reios, let available the information of position, and it was done by themselves, the process improvement. This is another case, one of the first one of our first approach and sales. It was in a chemical plant in Poland, in which the target was the monitor the activity and the evolution of the activity in the construction site. This construction site was a chemical plant. So the feature of this plant, and you see the map in the right side of the picture, is a broad area in transition from greenfield to brownfield, and thousands of workers. This was the given data. And the goals was know how many actual workers are brought in by the various subcontractors. This is a typical use of the tracking. Understand if and where the subcontractors are, when the number of subcontractors is particularly high, and monitor if workers enter a restricted or dangerous area, so safety, check the gathering, so have the information about danger, and monitor the position of asset as usual and provide the general activity on site. This was the goal. And these are the functions, and you can see in the right side the pictures of the real installation. So function where a work day beginning and end, length of stay in each area, anomalies analysis, analysis, tag status management, and as we know, geofencing and evaluation of protected areas. So these functions were all deployed. And then there are additional functions. Again, on the right side, you see some picture of the installation with gateways deployed in the environment. So the additional function are tracking of people using virtual gates too, employee and visitor attendance monitoring. They use of additional sensors in that area. That it's always a benefit, because when you have the IoT platform deployed, then you can add other sensors. Association of hashtag with mobile asset, and tag object association management. So these were all additional functions that brought additional value to the customer. A second use case for the cruise ship engine. This is very, very tough, very difficult use because of environment. It's the cruise ship engine room, very hard, big dimension, high number of people, planting system, high complexity. The element were the mesh network, the hashtag, BLE, and sensor spread almost everywhere. The application was very, very, very special to manage and control all engine room access gates, registering entries and exiting of people, because the aim was to assure that when in case of fire, alarm, all people were outside of the engine room, because when there is a fire alarm, it's possible that the CO2 is gas is injected, and so it's a big issue for the people's safety. There is a list of outcomes that maybe we can see fast because of the time. So real time, the key feature is the real time tracking of people inside the area. Generation of alert for people not equipped with the sTAG. Another very important, because let me say it's easy. It's normally easy to for us to define the position of people, to find the position of people equipped with the sTAG. But in this case, we had also to define the position of people not equipped with the sTAG using some special strategies. Very special project. Last use case, it's the sTrack for livestock monitoring. Everything is addressed to the better life of cows in this case, because better life of cows means better, higher productivity and higher quality of the milk. So we had a very, very good result, and I think that this is a market that we can approach with our technology very well, with a very, very high added value. And now, if you like, Q&A, please. Is somebody curious about some other characteristics of the sTrack? I'm here.
Hey, Massimo, it's Bernard. Hey, are you going to be able to share this presentation?
Of course, yes. Bernard,
Awesome.
thank you for the question. Yes.
No, great information, and absolutely help to probably eliminate a lot of questions that people, including I, had. So thank you.
Okay. I'm very happy to answer, maybe not now, but in future, to all questions. Always available. If no question, maybe I can pass. Andrea can carry on with her part of project design.
I'm ready. Hi, everybody. I will share now my presentation. Give me a second. Here we are. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, great. So the purpose of these slides are to describe the key elements to define a project's design based on the customer's requirements. To do so, we must understand, first of all, the existing challenges in the setup area. So to figure out the mix of hardware and software necessary for the project in order to fulfill the actual needs. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to design an IoT architecture, but the basic elements stay largely the same no matter the solution we will adopt. So how do we start? First of all, we have to identify the needs and requirements. So what are we tracking? People or objects? Which are the customer's reasons to do a tracking? Do they want to know the exact positioning and coordinates of people or vehicles? Do they want to know how many people are in a certain area? Another common reason for tracking is the access control. So monitor who gets into an area and allow only certain people to get in, or otherwise send alarms. Then we go to the identification of the environment. Where are we operating? What kind of area is that? Do we have restricted areas, or do we have to define mastering areas? Do we have to define, for example, gates, as in the use case Massimo have showed? How we do all these things? We start gathering the information from the customer using a checklist. This will help us to define the needs and address the environment in which we will operate. This document is split in 6 sessions. Each one is dedicated to a main topic. First of all, the area we are going to monitor. How is it? What kind of area is? Offices, warehouse, I don't know, an open pit mine, a chemical plant, a farm. What kind of area is that? And how is it? It's outdoor or indoor? Then the next stop is what kind of tracking the customer needs. Geolocalized tracking, or he just needs to know how many people are in a circumscribed area. Do we need also to do access control, send alarms in case unauthorized people get into an area? There are different reasons for tracking, and in the document, in the checklist, you will find the most common, but of course, maybe the clients need something else. Let's say this document helps you to assess everything that can be valuable information in order to design the right solution for the customer. Then we need to understand what we are going to track. In case of assets, what kind of assets are? Are we speaking about vehicles? Are we speaking just of objects? Which are the features of this assets we're going to track? Then we have a section in which get information about the IT system. Is it a Wi-Fi available? Which other information is available about the customer's existing IT system, in order to understand if we can, what we can propose from that point of view. Then there's a last section with the additional applications that the customer may add, even at a later stage. As Massimo explained, we can add other applications. So once we have the tracking, the customer may want to add, I don't know, the IoT lighting, or the IoT-based BMS, and so on. So that last section is to understand if eventually the system will be scaled up, maybe even in a second moment. Once we have the information, one very important thing about the information we are gathering is to have floor plans, especially if we're operating indoor, or if we're operating outdoor, to have at least a Google map of the area, in order to understand its layout, the dimensions, and yeah, how this area is structured. So once we have this information, we will go to do an offer to the customer. The offer has three main sections. The one with the infrastructure devices, which are basically for the tracking the gateways, which, as Massimo explained, collect the information from the sensors and send them to the platform installed in server. So we have to understand what kind of devices we will use. So we will use a Wi-Fi BLE gateway, an LTE BLE gateway, and so on. This depends basically by what kind of tracking we are doing. Because, for example, if we are in a very wide outdoor area, it's probably more efficient to use LoRaWAN, the LoRaWAN technology, because the coverage is very wide and you can use a small number of infrastructure devices. Otherwise, if we are indoor, it's better to use the BLE. So can we use the Wi-Fi, the existing Wi-Fi? Is there already a Wi-Fi, or we will add also the Wi-Fi among the services we are offering? And once we decided this, which is the best device to offer? There are, as Massimo showed, some devices which are specifically designed for indoor, like the square desk, or others which are specifically designed for outdoor. For example, the S-Gates rugged, or the LoRaWAN ones, and so on. So as I said, once we understand where we are going to operate, we will also choose the right type of infrastructure device. Then the sensors, of course, once we've chosen the technology, the communication technology we'll be using, we will choose the right tag to do the tracking. It can be of course, for tracking people. In this case, there are the tags which are like the dimension of a badge, of a credit card, or there are the ones specifically designed for the assets, and they can be applied to the vehicles or other objects. Then we can also understand if we can offer additional sensors. Maybe the customer needs to collect also environmental information about temperature, humidity, air quality, for example, or they need to understand if they need to use also passage sensors, or in case of lightning is added, we can also add, for example, luminosity sensors. The last section of the offer is the license, the software and the license, and eventually some custom software development when it's required. So for the identification of the devices, as I said, we have to establish that connectivity layer, so which is Wi-Fi, LTE, and so on. Then we go establishing the best technology to collect the on-site data, which is BLE, LoRaWAN, GPS, RFID. Then once we've understood this, we can define the type of gateways we will use. And after that, we will understand the specific Reios product more, the right one to be used in the kind of environment where we are going to operate. After that, we will identify the tracking sensors. And at the end, all the other sensors, additional sensors, which may be relevant for the project. How do we define the number of devices? Regularly, the number of gateways to install in an area depends, of course, by the coverage of each device. But for example, I mean, and this is true especially in outdoor areas. But in indoor areas, especially when when we are operating, for example, in an office like the example in the picture, we need to keep in mind that to select a single area, I mean, each closed area needs at least a couple of gateways to record correctly the passage of the tag inside that area. Then, depending on the dimension of the area to be monitored, we can also use 4 or 3 gateways, but at least 2 gateways, even if the rooms are small. So this way, with the floor plan, we can estimate the correct number of gateways. Then the number of the tags to be used, it's an information which arrives directly from the customer, of course. And once known the number of the gateways, we can understand which is the right size of the server to be used, because if we have a small number of gateways, we can use like a very small server. Otherwise, if we have like a big area with a lot of infrastructure, we will have to scale a bit up with the servers in order to have a better performance. At the end of everything, we will add in our offer the support hours, eventual integration needs from the customer, and so on. So this is basically the backbone of the offer. So once we have all these details, it's enough to go to the price book published on the Rajant Partner Portal and retrieve the price of each device. And once we have the total amount of the hardware, we can also calculate the license, which is for the first year, it's the 12% of the total offer for the hardware, the MSRP price. And from the second year, the 6% of the total offer of hardware. So, and there is a floor price, especially for the POCs or for the very tiny projects. The floor price for the first year is $1,500. In case this 12% of the total hardware offer is lower, we can offer the license at $1,500. And that's it. The offer is on, and the preliminary project is ready. And then we can go on with like a detailed project once we have more information. But these are, let's say, the first steps to do a preliminary offer. So, any question? Nothing?
Hi, hey, this is Bill Hensler, and I just wanted to make I just want to make a comment. I know I have a lot of two-way radio dealers on the training today, And I just want them to think of all the stadiums, hospitals, shopping malls, anywhere that we use two-way radios now, that the people aren't being tracked, that they could be tracked, such as like a PNC Park or, the Steelers Stadium, the convention center, the zoo, amusement parks, airports with security. There's so much opportunity for this equipment, and what makes it so unique compared to anything else I've seen or dealt with all my life in two-way is the ability for our group to make mapping of the buildings and lay out where the readers are. Thanks.
That's a great idea, Bill. Thank you.
If I could make one statement. If there was a simplified, like one page, just to help the sales team guide a end customer to be open-minded to even getting to the next conversation. There's a lot of detail there in regards to like all the deep steps, and it probably would be quite overwhelming to an end customer to get into that level of depth. So just sort of some really, really brief bullet points to help get people thinking like this compared to just not having this technology in the past.
I thank you for the comment. Maybe I can say something, Andrea, about that. It's really important, your question, and you will have an answer on that, because definitely we are going to do easy communication, bringing at the attention, of course, the value, but not going deep into details. I invite you to see the brochure that we have published on the website, because this is a first attempt to summarize the characteristics. Maybe it's not enough, so I take you in great consideration. I take in great consideration your request, and we will do on that. Maybe you can help also again by looking at that brochure and maybe making some comment on that. Thank you.
Okay, so if we have no other questions or comments, I would like to thank you all for your participation, and I believe we can go further for the people who registered with the technical part of the training on the other link. Massimo, I don't know if you want to add something.
I thank everybody for the attention, for the comment also, and yes, let's go on with the training session. Thank you.